Hey! Woo! Joe William in the house! William Archibald Show! Live right now! Right here!
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Good to see all the people popping up in here. Straight Chad, what's going on? Yeah. So just kind of dicking around on the internet today. We went, met up with some people and we got together. I do this ham radio thing. All this stuff behind me is not a green screen. You're looking at real, real deal stuff behind me. Anyhow, I could actually touch the people normally say, well, look at this green screen. Well, this is not a green screen. It's real. It's not Israel, but it's real. Now, as I was on the way back from where we were meet up at, I had a little hour-long ride, and I was dicking around on the internet, and I ran across some stuff. One thing is Mario Bowser, Mario Bowser. The first thing that comes to mind is Mario Brothers. Like, you had to beat this turd face at the end of the game so you could get to a mushroom princess, which was kind of weird. But anyhow, asking for National Guard, or pretty much, asking Congress so that she could have, uh, authoritative powers. It's not even the right word to engage the National Guard when the time is right, because the crime had gotten so far out of hand. Now, this was back in 2022, and then also, everybody's like, I can't believe Trump would federalize the National Guard in D.C. And I'm going to show you a video, and this was something I covered months ago, but it was Tim Walz back in the pandemic when he federalized the National Guard, and they were going around house to house and firing off on people with riot weapons who were just standing on the front porch when it was past your curfew to be outside, because at a certain time is when the coof would come out. But meanwhile, if you were burning everything down, it was good. You could stay out all night long, burn buildings down, have a good time. That was, because you were practicing your second. Well, they were doing that too. Your First Amendment, right? So it's gonna be pretty interesting, and we'll try to keep the stream somewhat quick. Yay! What's up, my beautiful wife jumping up in here? Howdy. Yeah, Dave didn't do a live today, so I was like, well, I'll do a little something myself. So thank you all for being here, and it's great evening to see everybody.
Awesome.
All right, so let me get into some of this stuff here. First off, I want to I'm going to expose Tim Walz's tampon. We're going to do here. So let me get this video rolled up. Of course, as I'm talking, it's like, why don't you get this stuff rolling while you're dicking around? Because I just my production is not as bad as MSNBS with that damn Cooter, Anderson Cooper. I do better than that. At least that. No, where am I at here? Let's see. This is it. Yeah, this is it right here. Let me get this up. This was in Minnesota. This was in Minneapolis, and you had people who were just on their front porch. They were like, "Yeah, we're just gonna hang out. I know there's a curfew, but it's still daylight outside. We're grown ass people, so I think we'll be okay just to hang out on our front porch." And lo and behold, as people were kind of just chilling, they see some a group of individuals walking down the street. Somehow or another, I want to sing a monkey song, but I can't remember the words. Where they're walking down the street. See, the funniest people everywhere you meet. Hey, it's the National Guard, and they're about to shoot you down.
They just keep coming.
Oh, go inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get inside! Get in your house now! Let's go! Light them up! Go inside now! Get in the house!
Get in.
Okay, now, if I roll this back, I did this video a while back, and it was hard to find the exact spot, but I think I accidentally did. That's muzzle flash, and those were rubber bullets, yes. But unless you're completely informed, hey, if you don't, we're going to fire you with rubber bullets. First of all, the whole premise of that's wrong. Did you see how authoritative the National Guard was on their own citizens? It's like they were excited that they finally seen somebody on their front porch, just sitting there, probably, they don't, our super doesn't like it when we smoke weed in there because he can smell it in their apartment that's next to him, and so it kind of tends to dampen our security deposit. So we're going to go out here and we're going to burn a little bit of weeds because I think it's legal in that area. So we're going to burn a little weeds. We're going to go out here on the front porch and pass the doobie around to each other, not worried about the pandemic. And here comes a group of people, and you don't know that these are rubber bullets. Could you imagine the initial, like, oh my God, we're getting shot. Am I alive? And then, but I mean, they unleashed on those people and screaming. And this is all Tim Walz's area. The same guy who was saying Trump's a dictator for federalizing the national. First, I have not seen the National Guard fire any rubber bullets at any of these illegals that are running from them. They've managed to take their own self out by running in front of school buses and trucks and stuff. Now that's their own fault. But the National Guard is firing on their own citizens. Yes, they're rubber bullets and are supposed to be not quite as lethal as a regular round, but people have been deleted with a rubber bullet in the right place.
Light him up. Go inside now. Get in the house.
Get in.
Oh my God, that hurt. You
Are
good?
you okay?
Right on the fucking crotch.
Are you okay? You got hit?
I'm good. They're fucked for that, dude. What?
Okay.
That's wrong. So just never forget what Tim Walz did during the pandemic. Loving that, by the way. But it was fine. If you now say for those people who are out burning stuff down, oh, you're good to go. You can hang out all you want to. And right here, check this out. Let's see. This is this it? Is this this is it. This is Mayor Muriel Bowser, who's actually, and we're going to get Katie Hobbs. Give me a second here. I like to lead up. I like to get people rolling in. Wow, good numbers tonight, by the way. Let me get this video and I'll flip over and I'll wave a hand at all you people real quick. Thank you.
Mayor Muriel Bowser announced her Safer, Stronger anti-crime legislation. So this morning, she went to Capitol Hill to testify before the House Oversight Committee about crime in the district and ways to reduce it.
Access to firearms is a national problem, and we need common sense gun reform. We also need this Congress to give the mayor control of the DC National Guard. We welcome your partnerships or non-public safety initiatives as well.
Mayor.
Never forget that either. And I'd have to say that the crime had ramped up in DC because they wanted things to be rough on citizens. That way people could say, wow, ever since Trump took office here in DC, the crime has gotten astronomical. And that, just to make it a little rough on Trump's polling numbers. So, the crime wasn't even as bad when Biden was, like in office, but she needed asking for powers of National Guardness. But now it's a big issue. Now it's the big problem. Now everybody's speaking out. Oh my God, how dare Trump do this? He's a dictator. So those are just a couple little reminders of just some of the antics that Democrats do that, and we're supposed to forget about that. By the way, has there been any media on television right now as we speak that actually brought any of these two items up for bid to kind of give people a little bit of feeling of comfort to understand that what's going on isn't that out of the ordinary? No. All they've done is attack. Why? Because the media is complicit and the agenda of the globalists who are in charge of federalizing their powers against us so they can initiate their Agenda 2030, Agenda 2050, depopulate society and make us slaves to the grind, as the great Skid Row would say. So there's that. By the way, Robert F. Kennedy is trying to make America healthy again. Here's a good example of seed oils. That's Amanda Bynes on the left when she was, just recently getting out of Nickelodeon. That's Amanda Bynes on the right. Yeah. We really need to see what's going on with some of our food. That's something happened there. I don't know. But let's get to the Katie Hobbs thing here. and then I'm going to show you some other little interesting little tidbits of things. Here is it's a sort of a long video, but allegedly, by what I'm reading here, and I actually this is video that I do remember covering a little while back. Let me cut this music off because sometimes that is somewhat of a copyright thing. 7 minutes and 4 seconds of conspiracy caught on surveillance video. This is at the 2022 Arizona November 8th and 20 from the state capitol election meddling in Maricopa County. Here are Katie Hobbs and her co-conspirators Adrian Fontes dumping stacks of information into a box so that they could be later looked up and facilitated for their furthering of their career. Ha! How you like those apples? But yeah, this is this is them making repeat. I did a video earlier, and there's this dude in Michigan that's running for city council. Which, believe it or not, mayor's one thing, but when you're city council, I think when that gives you actual more strategic power to a certain extent because you have the ability to facilitate monetary maneuvers a little bit more coherently, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm using some big words to try to sound smart. But this is all some Katie Hobbs stuff going on right here, allegedly, where they're making sure that they completely fill that hard drive up with a bunch of different information related to their furthering of their political career. And these are all some of the people who are working under the cartel that Katie Hobbs is in charge of. Because Arizona, by the way, you're going to see some changes in Arizona. Far as like with Trump being able to do some pretty magical work when it comes to stopping some of the cartel members from doing what they're doing in Mexico, because people don't realize just how continental, when I say, or what am I looking for, intercountryal, the cartel operates in the United States in multiple states, if not all 50 to a certain extent. They have operations that span nationwide and also worldwide. There's a reason for that. But Arizona, especially Maricopa County, seems to be sort of a favorite distribution block area of the cartel because of its geological strategical location when it comes to drugs and money, because it's a good hub for meeting places, considering where other places are in the United States, where they kind of, just like a trucking company that spans across our nation, they'll have hubs everywhere. And they'll have them in certain places because of their geological location and strategical geological location. And the cartel understands that as well, considering when you have to move a lot of product when it comes to drugs and money. And like I said, Arizona, Maricopa County is a great place. Maricopa County, a big city. You can gear the voting base in a direction to where you can set policy to where they can live sort of a nice, free, and happy life. And happy life, happy cartel, happy Katie Hobbs. The list just keeps going on and on and on. Let me show you this here. And where are we at here? Where are we at? Texas. I was going to show you where Trump is actually getting some help. They are going after some of the cartel people, and I thought I had it for some odd reason and everything. Oh, there it is, right here. Under pressure, Mexico. Right here, I got it. Mexico extradites cartel bosses, investigates politicians and cartel ties. This could affect a lot of people. And like I said, we had a good friend of ours, Liz Harris, a couple years ago. She hasn't done any work with us because she's trying to get her life straightened out. She got a lot of flack for being so voiceful and so effective when it came to the political agenda or going against the political agenda of the left. And so we haven't heard much out of Liz Harris in a while. But back in the day, Matt and I actually had the fortunate time to be graced by her presence on a podcast. And she explained stuff because she's boots on the ground in that area that dealt with Katie Hobbs, that dealt with the cartel, that coincided with actual real estate and other things. So it's a big stronghold in that area. So this is going to be interesting to see what happens and how Katie Hobbs is going to try to sidestep all this stuff. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to be very interesting. But under pressure, Trump, Mexico extradites cartel bosses, investigates politicians and cartel members. And it recognized the deep state corruption and cartel influence inside Mexico's government. President Trump has pressurized Mexico not only to extradite cartel prisoners for sentencing in the U.S., but also investigate politicians with cartel ties and extradite them as well. In other words, if they're like, if these are foreign entities, but they've been operating stuff in the United States, and that gives us federal power. It's like they did that El Chapo dude and stuff like that. But so far, Mexico has expelled 55 high-ranking cartel figures. Those, by the way, are just below the high-ranking. The real ones are really running the show. The real ones are the ones that we see on TV. But anyhow, in two major transfers, 29 of these people in February and 26 this week. Notable figures include Abigail Gonzalez Valencia, a leader of Los Clunes, brother-in-law of Sinjing boss El Menchino. I should have worn my shirt, which is buttoned right here at the top, and been like, yo. But anyhow, Servando La Torta Gomez, a former head of the Knights Templar cartel, and then Roberto Salazar, wanted in the 2008 unalivement of Los Angeles Sheriff Deputy and Rafael Cuaro Quintero, implicated in the 1985 unalivement of a U.S. DEA agent. Others have ties to the Sinaloa cartel, which we have heard a lot about, and other violent gangs. Sinaloa is one of our top problematic systems. But see, used to, we were like, these gang people have figured it out. They have really, they've managed to break themselves up into like shell companies. Yes, I know. These people are very business savvy because there's a lot of money involved with cartel operations. That's why they do this. You can get around a lot of regulations when you're just running an illegal situation. Like, in other words, if you're a mining company and you have to get certain permits and certain approvals and stuff, and contracts need to be, that takes time, that takes money. Sometimes they don't go through because of logistics and law and EPA laws and stuff like that. So if you just run an illegal operation, Katie bar the door, you just have at it until somebody tells you to stop. And then you cease operations for several days. That company gets sued, fizzled out, but immediately, because they're all one company operating out of shells, it's up and running again. And you can't get them with anything other than another cease and desist, because technically it's a different company. But once you actually look into what's really going on, it's the same people. So the cartel are like, dude, we should do the same thing. So that's where you see all these different names of gangs, just like the Bloods and the Crips. Those are your common American gangs that run through a lot of your urban areas. And the funny thing about it is like, just like these gangs right here, they'll kind of spar with each other over turf wars and things like that. And that's normal because the low-lying people don't understand that it's all one conglomerate, just like the people in the Bloods and the Crips who fight over a corner to sell some dope on. Matter of fact, that competition kind of helps set the price, which is a self-fulfilling prophecy to an organization that operates like a conglomerate. It's like your Walmart of gang members, It's pretty wild. Anyhow, it'll be the same thing. We're going to watch sort of the similar thing happen. But just the fact that something is happening kind of like puts a cramp in their style, which I'm an advocate for. So I'll go with that. I'm okay with that. All right. Okay. I'm having a lot of fun with this here, guys. Let me flip over and wave a hand at all you fine people out there. Oh, snap. Get in here. That's the good stuff. Robert Spielman, what's up? Allegedly. We need peace. What's happening? Nancy Dunks, hey. Arthur Drake, yeah, what's going on? Frank Bishop, what's happening? Isabella, good to see you. I saw you were getting out of Princess Raven's live stream the other day. You were not feeling well that night. I did a late night live stream and I popped in and hung out with you guys. You had just left when I came in there, but I'm waving a hand, by the way. Princess Raven on YouTube, check them out. Stormbringer, what's up? Yeah, Princess Raven on YouTube. I said that really fast, but please check them out. Fun group of people it is. Listen to some fun music, enjoy some fun company. And let's see here. What we got? We got Frank Bishop. Robert Spielman, making sure. Oh, Chunky Chuck. What's up? Lisette Taylor. Yeah. Good to see all you wonderful people in there. And what is this? Bianca Howard. Hello, Michigan, supporter of our president. Yeah. Yep. Man, let's see here. And let's see here. Oh, what we got here? Let me see what's popping off here. Sharper Man in Texas. Thank you very much for that super chat. Thank you. By the way, also a member of the channel, monthly subscriber to help kind of offset the no money that YouTube pays me. You would think that, wow, he's got 87,000 subscribers. He's doing pretty well. Ha! YouTube is like, watch me do this. And these dudes, I don't do it for the money. I mean, don't get me wrong, it helps. I mean, because we do spend time doing it. Sometimes I'm at work and I cut videos out. But just to clear the air, like if I'm lucky to make payout at the end of the month with YouTube, which is like $100. So we're just glad to be here and glad that YouTube hasn't nuked the channel. And like I say, thank you again, Sharpen a Minute Texas. Yeah. Yeah, call it live. Yeah, I know. I do this pretty wild. And we're gonna move Matt and I next week. We're gonna move our Thursday 11 o'clock show or 11:30 show to 6:30 North Carolina time to see if that helps people in the evenings that are, 'cause people are at work and stuff. So next week, that the show that Matt and I do that normally would be at 11:30 on Thursdays on this channel will be at 6:30, same day, but just at a time that might be more accommodatable for people who are trying to get home and get settled in and all. So that's our plan. We'll see what happens. If it doesn't work, we'll go back. But oh, wait a minute, Melinda Ritchie. Yeah, are you kin to that? What's that dude that the Ritchie guy? Ritchie? No, that's Ritchie Blackmore. Never mind. I play guitar for Deep Purple. By the way, I should read the comment. Hello, yeah. So anyway, dig back into some more of the stuff. I just like, by the way, if you're new to this channel and you're just now subscribing and you're just now catching your very first live, what we do here, I would like to first give you a round of applause. Yep, being here, big deal. And I do my best to try to always take a minute and go through the comment sections and check on people because I'm flipped around the other side and they can't see much, and just get you up there. Cherry Fields. Ha! Me, you, and 5G. Okay. But anyway, you're like a family here. All you guys are family. Feel special. Because a lot of YouTubers don't take time to even acknowledge your existence out there in this world. I'll do my best. Always. Yeah, you left early, woke up at 6 a.m. and they were yeah, dude, I had to jump out of there last night. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning or 2:30 and it was getting wound up. I was like, whoo, I got to get myself in the shower. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so oh, by the way, what you're looking at on my little side screen over there is not New York or not DC. Although it would be nice. I think they're using a rainbow water cannon there. This is not in DC.
Just relaxing in
Okay,
the tub.
there we go. Yeah, that's looks like, I don't know. It's another country. I don't know where that's at, but I love the idea of an inclusive water cannon where you have a rainbow flag that comes out the end of it and just starts spraying the crap out of all those lefties. Seems to be pretty effective, actually. A couple of them just go flying. Yeah. That's all that. I was like, yeah, water cannon. Huh. Pretty good stuff. And it'd be handy too if one of them try to set one of those buildings on fire. He's like, just put it out with your inclusive but yet effective thing here. Let's see. Anyway, so let me go and find out where we're at here. Oh gosh, Nancy Dunks. Always give a PSA before I do anything related to being aware of the crookedness of the Israeli government. Not Jewish people, because they're great people. So we're gonna do Montel Williams segment at the end of this show, and this man's gonna explain some of the things that the Israeli government was doing to Ukrainians before Hitler was even a thing. And that's actually, if you really dig into the deep history of that, by the way, Nancy Dunk, nothing against Jewish people. Please, please, please. Anybody that's Jewish out there, I understand that you're caught in the middle of a mosh pit when it comes to political games and misinformation and things that are designed to affect people to create division. And that's not what we're doing here. We're only pointing out the corruption in the Israeli government, very similar, if not mirror image of the corruption that's going on in America and other countries, just for the FYI. But the fact that Christians in Israel are being persecuted to the umpteenth degree, at one point in the year of 2023, there was legislation put forth in front of the Israeli government and voted on whether or not it was going to be legal to actually just commandeer uh, people who were known Christians, their land and property because of their beliefs and faith. That was actually voted on, and it did not pass in 2023. But there is a new version of that being brought to the table, and just the fact alone that somebody came up with that idea to put it in front of Congress was pretty daggone scary to me. And now you can go look at a lot of things that are going on in Israel when it comes to the safety of Christians, and it's kind of just not good. Kind of just not good. But we'll dig on that in the end, and maybe hopefully. Yeah, thank you too, Nancy. We love you too. Just remember that this is nothing against a certain person. This is against an entity that's evil, and it actually infects like not a personal person, but just a group. You feel me? Everybody knows what I'm talking about. So that I'm glad we clear the air there because yeah, I'll make fun of black people. I'll make fun of white people. The people that are effed up are going to catch it. That's all I'm going to say. Like this lady right here. This is a good example of like. A thing here. See, get this up here.
You right-wing extremists are into that gender binary, which is very oppressive.
So I'm just gonna really fast. I'm not a right-wing extremist. I'm actually
you have an American flag on your shirt.
I'm a United States Air Force veteran. My parents are legal immigrants from the Middle East. I don't give into the right wing. I'm not right-wing just because I don't give into that. Like for instance,
do you believe there are two genders?
Yes, I believe there's.
Then you're a right-wing extremist.
That has nothing to do with being right-wing. There's men and women. If some people have gender
dysphoria. Did you wear a mask during the pandemic?
I definitely did not wear a
mask.
Well,
then you are a right-wing extremist.
There's a song by the band Overkill called "Ignorance and Innocence Go Hand in Ignorance and innocence." Go hand in. Stormbringer knows what I'm talking about. But here, check out Alex Stein.
Hey, you guys want some tampons? Yeah, quit hitting me with your stick. You want a tampon, sir?
There you go.
You want a tampon? You want a tampon, sir?
There you go. Get off me! Oh, I'm sorry. Listen. I'm sorry. You dropped. Don't touch him. Don't touch him again. Don't touch him again. Get off. Get off. Don't touch him again. Don't. I hope your phone's okay.
Hey,
it's okay. It's okay.
America.
But people don't realize about Alex Stein, he's actually a pretty well-trained boxer. Like if he wanted to go to that ASS, he can do it. He did a boxing match and like really held his own pretty good actually. I was really impressed with all that. Let's see, what is this? I think we could all deal with that. That's a new trend, by the way, is to hold up traffic and do wheelies all in really densely populated areas with people walking and you F around, you find out. Bad enough people ride bicycles at 5 miles per hour in the middle of a busy day, won't get out of your way. But you got some dude just riding wheelies. I'd seen a video where a guy like pushed another little kid over. He's like, "How dare you touch me? I'm 16 years old. You can't touch me." And that is the actual mindset of a lot of these children who are underage when they do all these really crazy and terrible degenerate things in public, and they finally get a rise out of an adult. And believe it or not, my wife has a son. As he's growing up, he's learning. But back in the day, one of his little friends was kind of popping off at the mouth, and I got in his face and like made him get in his truck. And as he was getting in his truck, and he was like, "What are you gonna do? Hit me? You gonna hit me? I'm just a kid. I'm only 16. What you gonna do? Hit me?" I was sitting there thinking, "Oh, yes, I will actually. I will do that." And he ended up getting in his truck and leaving. But their mindset is because of their age that gives them a green light to be complete a-holes, because technically by law it's not a fair fight. You can face some kind of charges for hitting them because they're underage. And I'm like thinking to myself, you don't realize the fact that it's going to take at least 7 to 17 minutes. I live in a red state, so the cops actually do come. You don't get an hour to give them a good beat down like you do in blue run states. But where I'm from, you got about 7 to 17 minutes before the sheriffs pull up and everything. And I will get out. I will get out. I've got land and I will get out. And when I do, I'm going to beat your ass again. So they learn it afterwards, but they don't get it. But luckily it didn't escalate to that. He just left. But I have encountered children that think because they're a certain age that they can just run that mouth. And I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on with these kids now. I never thought about doing that to adults and all, but let's see. Can we Montel Williams this? I already gave the PSA. I gave the PSA about I don't have any hatred against Jews, but there's a lot of history that's been left out. And here you go.
A comment and a question.
Make it very quick because we got to go.
First of all, I have the greatest sympathy for all innocent people who die in war, but the Jewish experience is not unique. I happen to be of Ukrainian descent, and 7 million of my people were murdered, and a disproportionate number of the perpetrators of these crimes in the Ukrainian famine happened to be Jews. Trotsky, Beria, Dzerzhinsky, and I'd like to know when I'm going to get my reparations for my relatives.
Okay. That's also another issue. We'll take a break.
A comment.
He's like Montel Williams is like, wait a minute, hold damn. Montel Williams is like, as soon as this show's over, I'm gonna go bang Kamala Harris. You gotta remember that was a thing. That was a thing. Him and Kamala Harris sat in a tree. They were KSSSING. And I don't blame the man. I mean, he was just doing his thing. She was a big nobody. I mean, basically used his star likeness to kind of help give her clout and notoriety. And so, but yeah, that dude actually wasn't telling a lie. He was not making up things. That was not misinformation. That's just history that's been lost in the making because it's not the kind of history that they want people to know because, and I've talked about this before, here I go with television shows again, but there was a re-release of the X-Files back in the mid-2000s. And one of the episodes was where Mulder met up with this like Joker clown person in the middle of a playground during the daytime. And his face was, like I said, indicative of what you would think of, face painted, kind of funny looking clothes. And he's like, you do realize that we can theoretically control the future, and Mulder was like, why? And he was trying to figure out their dynamics. And he's like, it doesn't take time machines. It doesn't take, special quantum computing to control the future. No, we've been able to control the future for a long time, they said. This clown thing said. He says, all you have to do is control the past. And what I mean by that is you need to be able to sort of skew and shield and maneuver other historical events in a way that would shape the mindset of the future movements. Because you kind of like, whenever you do a job, like you build a house and you think about some of the things that you're going to encounter while building and framing that house in certain areas of like the way the ground is laid out and everything, you go back in your brain and you'll recall things that happened. That's history. I mean, that is history. That is something that happened in the past that gives you a reference point of what could possibly happen in the future given the same scenario. And so if you forget about certain key aspects of that job and what happened while you were doing that, you might actually give them a price or do something that was completely wrong because you forgot, or better yet, you relied on somebody to tell you something that they knew and they strategically forgot, or they left things out perfectly in just the right places to where you would get halfway through it and get all screwed up, or the outcome would be what they wanted it to be. So it's that simple. And with the digital age of Wikipedia, internet, lefties that have this stronghold of Mockingbird Media 10.0, considering what it was always a little bit skewed, but now ever since Obama did the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act and really hypersonically impaled the media, we don't really have a good historical account of a lot of things. And when it comes to war confrontations and historical outcomes and what the next part of life would be after that, we don't really know. And it's to the point now where there's a lot of people who don't really even believe half of the stuff that went on with the Holocaust, which I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying that's the outcome of what happens when you lie, which is that thing that I pulled up years ago about Obama saying that is the plan when it comes to the point where people don't trust the media, they don't trust the government, they don't trust the politicians, they don't trust the police department, they think everything's a lie, that's when they know that their job is done. You've completely fried the brains of the public. You have brainwashed them and brainwashed them to where you have nothing left. And then people just kind of tap out. That's when they become controllable. It's that simple. Anyhow, fun little story and historical things. Um, so Hillary Clinton's really trying like hell to get on Trump's good side. There must be something really she's worried about because she's never, ever, ever been favorable to Trump at all. And this is the second time she's like, I give him a Nobel Peace Prize. That's kind of ironic. Some of the most violent and ruthless criminals nominating people for the Nobel Peace Prize. That guy would be rolling over in his grave, or his clone would, one of the two. But Hillary Clinton admits Trump was right. Says he's encouraged by NATO, that she is encouraged by NATO's progress. She understands to stroke Trump's ego. Maybe they'll back off on her and all the investigations that are trying to. But I don't know. These investigations possibly won't go anywhere. I'm not going to say she'll be arrested or anybody will be arrested. But just the fact that there's heat on these people, you see how when their feet are held to the fire, they kind of squirm like ants being held to the top of a 100-watt light bulb with a piece of duct tape. Yeah. So anyway, she's doing that. And let me just make sure I hadn't forgot anything before. What's going on here? Let me go back to this. That make me big. Yeah, there we go. What's going on out there? What did I miss in the comment section? Vegas. I was fixing ATM machines in front of everybody. I did not wear a mask. That would mean stupid people would walk up to me and talk to me. Yeah. Oh, I remember all that stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Baltimore is plagued with those rascals. Yeah, those people on those bicycles. Yeah, Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson, I ain't seen you in a minute, dude. What's going on? Yes, good to see you. By the way, we've got no, it's not the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. That's the real Mike Johnson right there, not the one from the Speaker of the House. But anyhow, Timmy has been for every Mike. Yeah, good to see you. Got some people jumping in here I hadn't seen in a while, man. This is great. Terabytes. What's going on? Yeah. Making sure I don't forget anybody. Arthur Drake. What's Hillary Ward? I know, right? For her to be even like stroking Trump's balls at all, something's up. Something is definitely up there. Let me just roll. I'm gonna roll through a few headlines. That's what we're gonna do. Let me get this up here. We're gonna do this live. Doing it live. Rolling through headlines. Yeah. Maybe we'll find something interesting. Sundays are typically a day of rest, so you won't see. We want every day. I look for articles where somebody's bigly been. There's 15 Democrats that got arrested for election meddling, who, by the way, have all pled not guilty. One of them being this Cureller guy, who was also involved in a money laundering organization with him and his wife, which ranges almost to $1 million. But that's another thing. That mayor from Louisiana is indicted and got some charges popping, or a grand jury indicted her for over $100,000 of embezzlement of the taxpayers' money, so that this 53-year-old really ugly woman could go make love somewhere else with her bodyguard. That sounds like a movie because it was, but at least that movie didn't involve a really ugly person banging their bodyguard for taxpayer money. She used her own money to do this. We could all learn from Whitney Houston. Man named Mohammed. Ain't that hell? These people idolize the Quran so much in Islam, where they pray to a stupid rock. They bang goats. They beat their wives, honor unalive their children, their daughters. Hell, they marry their daughters. They're like, hey, I got a pretty good looking daughter. Moving on over. Get on in here. Get in the bed with daddy. That's what they'd say in whatever language they'd say. No joke. They like, and the Muhammad guy is was the prophet who wrote the Quran in like 1975, which I'm nowhere near the date right, but I'm just saying it was way after any real the encounter of Jesus Christ, who's the real God creator, and it advocates for that kind of stuff, Sharia law, and messing with really underage people. Well, that guy's name was Muhammad. So if you name your child Muhammad, that gives you like some kind of social hierarchy in the world of Islamic stuff. You get a really good looking goat, all kind of stuff. Uh, this guy right here is named Muhammad Muhammad. He must have been super well, but he actually did so. He forced himself on an unconscious woman in front of a Nashville church before she was no longer with us anymore. His name was Muhammad Muhammad. You can see over there on the right. That's he wasn't illegal, by the way. He was supposed to be here. Police suspect foul play after San Bernardino mother who claimed her baby was kidnapped provides inconsistent statements. I don't know anything about that, but she probably has something to do with that. Trump excoriates the Democrat Party, saying on Truth Social that the party is dead. Their party hate evil and Satan. Well, he's not wrong. And an illegal alien Uber driver who entered the U.S. on Biden's open border invitation forced himself on a 21-year-old female passenger. Yep, that's not good. Let's see here. California's unemployment rate is the highest in the U.S. And insider trading runs deep within the Democrat Party. Yes, we know that. And dude man bit somebody's ear off. Texas police search for career criminal. They said bit a man's ear off during a home invasion. That's pretty wild. Yeah. We're and like I said, we'll know a little bit more about the success behind the 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 summit thing that Putin and Alaska. Oops, wrong damn thing. We'll see how that goes. Tomorrow, I think Zelensky's supposed to meet up with them on Monday, and they're going to put him in his little high chair and give him his. Here's Zelensky. Here's a little bit of the cocaine we found that Hunter Biden left. You can have a little bit of that. Get your little toot so that way you can have your energy. I want you to be awake and coherent, and we're going to explain to you the next moves, what we're going to do and how we're going to handle it. And like I say, the talks that Putin and Trump had, I speculate, don't know for sure because I wasn't there. You had stuff on television that was public, but I could only imagine what went on in privacy. And there was a lot of information that was exchanged. And yes, Putin can tell lies, so can Trump. But I don't think that's the name of the game here. I think that when you, like us as independent content creators in the conservative world, understand a lot of the things that Ukraine were doing boosted up by NATO's forces and crooked Americans like what does that dude from Arizona that's got those beady little eyes, Spaceman, Mark Kelly, and Lindsey Graham, and all these people, was why Putin was going a lot harder and heavier than what Trump could understand, because Trump at the time, being isolated and insulated from real information by his own cabinet, didn't understand that whenever it was time for a timeout, that Ukraine was having none of it and doing very crooked and awful things to Putin and his trying to assassinate him and everything. So there's going to be a lot of stuff to unfold there. And that's why I really, in my opinion, if I was going to move in a direction of what side should I take if I wanted to take a side, I would take Russia's side at this point, because if we had an alliance with such an energy strong country, as much as we are, that and there's a lot of Christianity that exists in Russia that's allowed to happen. I think that we would be like a power couple, because we've got a lot of really strong weapons. So does Russia. Neither one of us want to use it, but if we could keep other countries from see, we're divided on a grassroots level here in the United States by media, because they don't want us to unite, because we would be an extremely powerful force if all the citizens didn't hate each other. We loved each other and we didn't want to try to harm anything. Same thing goes for countries. If countries could actually really get along and there wasn't somebody always undermining something, man, imagine that world of how peaceful it would be. Now, would it ever be an achievable goal? If we get 30% to 40%, we would be doing really good. So, anyways, guys, I want to thank all you guys for hanging out. Frank Bishop, thank you for being here. Stormbringer, throw your link up before I ride out. Let's see here. Yeah, because Princess Raven is, they'll be having a lot of fun. Check them out, Princess Mike Johnson. Have you checked out the virtual map of Israel expansion since 1952? Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Armenia doesn't know what they're even in for over there. They don't. They think they've got it figured out, but it's pretty bad. And there's nothing good about being spied on by your own allies. I mean, I guess we kind of do it too, but shouldn't do that. I mean, that's just weird. That's like being married to somebody, always checking their cell phone to see what they're doing behind their back. Is that a way to exist? Is that sustainable? Do you actually grow as a significant other couple whenever they walk out of the room, you pick up their cell phone and look at everything they're doing? You know, and what do you do when you find something on that thing? Like if you're a country and you're spying on your own ally and you find out something doing, you confront them, pretty much blow the cover on the fact that you've been spying on them, which then that as any codependent and projectional, mentally ill girlfriend boyfriend would be, immediately they would play victim, and then you have to play into that because you technically did invade their privacy even though they were doing something wrong. So that just spills into a whole other level of chaos in a sense. So there's nothing good about that. Yeah. But hey, thank you, Stormbringer. Thank you guys. You guys are wonderful, by the way. You're just a wonderful group of people. All you guys that are hanging out in the comment sections and have been here for years. These are people who have been here for years. We've been doing this together. This is so awesome. YouTube has throttled this channel down to a mere minimum, but yet they can't stop you guys. And what a beautiful thing that is, man. I mean, give you guys a big old pat on the back. Wait a minute, is this it right here? Yeah, right here. Yeah, thank you guys. Really digging this soundboard here. It's not a very expensive one, but I needed a microphone with a handle, like with a knife, whatever you call this thing. And I got the whole thing for what they wanted to sell a microphone for, and it's not too bad. Got a little fuzzy ball on the end of it, and we can deal with that. So, anyways, guys, thank you all, and we're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna get something to drink, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Robin, all you guys, man, just big ass damn hugs. Hell.